So do you guys think that this correlates with where teachers are today? Because teachers spend so much time with the kids, right? Teachers tend to have this view that, well, I spend more time with your child than you do. So I have equal, or if not more, rights on what I feel is best for your child. So children that are growing up in society, when it comes to interaction, we're talking about etiquette and all that, they interact more with their teachers than with anybody else. And I can kind of understand why teachers have gotten this, I wouldn't say ego, but this view that they know what's best for the children more so almost than the parents do, right? Because they talk more with their teacher in elementary school throughout the entire day. By the time they get home, it's 3 o'clock and they go to bed by 8. So they only spend 4 or 5 hours with their parents, but they spend 7, 8 hours with their teachers. So children today, and I'm not talking about the latest generation, the alpha generation, I'm talking about Gen Z and the millennials. Even when they're together as a group, they don't know how to interact even among friends. They interact through their phone, right? So I remember I had a bunch of my nephews and nieces over, and I walked into a room, and they're all sitting in a circle on the ground. There's about 8 of them.
With their phones.
And it was pin drop silence. And I said, can you guys like talk? Like play a fucking game, do something? And I'm like, no, Uncle, we are talking. I said, what do you mean? And then they were giggling. Like someone sent someone something, and then they said, I said, we're communicating. And they all had their phones. Yeah. And they're showing, they go, no, send me that. And then they make a comment. That's how they socialize. They don't, they have never, ever picked up the phone and called their friend and had like a 20-minute conversation. Hey, what's going on? How you feeling? No, they'll just text for hours. So they're losing all of that. So I feel that's the direction, and it's actually very depressing.
Yeah. What's really depressing, I have a younger friend, and I remember I was sitting in the car with them, and I was just asking them basic questions like, hey, like, how's it going? Like, just how are you? Tell me a little more about your day. And then they would tell me about their day, and I'd ask more questions about what they did throughout their day. And I was just like really getting in depth with questions, just having a conversation. And when I have a conversation with a particular individual, I'm known to make like eye contact while I talk to them. I don't look past them or anything away from them. I look at them, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden my friend started to cry. And I was just like, why are you crying? And he didn't want to tell me until I like picked. And he said, sorry, but like no one's ever actually like conversated with me like this before.
How old was this person?
He's like maybe 5 years younger than me. I'm 30.
Is that sad?
It is very sad.
Right? They get nervous and very self-conscious. And that doesn't mean that they've got some kind of a disorder. Yeah. It just has to, that really has to do with their social skills. Yeah. They were never taught them from a very young age. So they're not confident at all, or they're very defensive. It's like, why are you asking me all these questions? Like, I'm just having a conversation. Well, why do you need to know? Well, what do you mean? We're just conversating, man. Chill out.
Even if I don't ask them questions, say they are engaging with me in the conversation and they're telling me about their day and they're actually really happy to have that conversation. I've literally had stylists watch me interact with somebody, and that somebody who's talking to me was just staring at the floor the whole time while they were talking to me.
It's really sad. And I think that a lot of these people, when they grow up, because they are so antisocial, they do develop some kind of a disorder, and then they pass it on to their children. And I feel that the environment that we live in today, because we live in a consumer-driven society. Look at everything on this table. This was all bought. All of these things have fucking ton, like that bag of Doritos. How many fucking commercials Doritos have out there? They're brainwashing to buy their, and that corn that you have, I think it's, by the way, you know the corn I think in Doritos is GMO corn. And it's the most unhealthiest shit you can ever eat. Like you're better off taking something out of the garbage pail, just eating that, than eating that bag of Doritos.
I didn't break my Reese's because of this.
So Dorito, I mean, that is so unhealthy for you. Like if you eat that, your system is clogged up and blocked up. It's just the nastiest shit. But the amount of
gluten-free.
Wow. The amount of marketing, like you guys have all seen Dorito ads, right? Who hasn't seen them? Right? They're geniuses at marketing this stuff, right? And then at the same time, the government's like, oh no, we really care about your health and we want to make sure that bullshit. The big corporations control everything. And now what the corporations have done is they've made us believe that we're such busybodies. We have no free time. You have no free time. You're a busy person. You're an executive. You run a fucking Fortune 500 company, and you've got like 20 kids. You can't handle anything.
That's a lot of kids.
So let us help you. Yeah, so let us help you. And we're going to help you we're going to simplify stuff. No, you're not simplifying it. It's a double-edged sword. Some people, don't get me wrong, I do believe some people do take advantage of this, and it does help them because it could be a single mom with 4 kids or whatever, or they have a big family, or both the husband and wife work and they have a career. So when they do online shopping, it does free up time for family time. I do believe that. But majority of us who fund Uber Eats are people who are single, who live on their own, or their significant other, and they've got all the free time in the world.
Well, even Fiona with 5 kids, she does not Uber Eats anything. She physically goes to the grocery store because she can price match. She can find deals because there's 2-for-1 deals, whatever. But she goes and she'll take one. She obviously doesn't take all 5 kids because that's a fucking jungle gym.
Yeah.
But when she goes, she does go to the grocery store, and I tell her all the time, I'm like, why don't you just Uber it? And she's like, do you know how much quicker it is for me to just go there, grab it, get in line, and leave?
Yep.
That's me because I'm impatient and I need it now. So I will go to the grocery store.
And that's what when it comes down to her first, she's like, I don't have time to sit there and wait for somebody. I can just go get it. And by the time I get it, I can go home and cook it.
Another thing as well, too, Melissa, if you prefer to go to the grocery store and so does your friend, it's because you're also not intimidated with interacting with people.
Oh, she's terrifying.
But I'm saying what I mean by that is that, like, Melissa, if you go to the grocery store, people are going to see you. You're going to have to stand in line. You're going to have to walk down aisles and bump into somebody else, or whether they're a stranger or not. And you're okay with that. But a lot of people have social anxiety.
Well, and you know what? I also I like doing the correlation in my head. Some people don't like to physically go shopping. Like my mom, for example, was kind of overweight, and she always felt like people were staring at her when she went shopping, especially clothes shopping, especially grocery shopping. So she would physically go grocery shopping like at night because of the way the customer service was. Okay. So when you have that was back then, that was like a decade ago. So flash forward now, when you have these kids with anxiety disorders that are working retail positions, people don't really want to go out to public and deal with, like, what do you want? Like, I'm sorry, but 9 out of 10 times you walk into a store,
they're rude.
They don't even say, whoever you're working with doesn't say hello. Yeah. They don't, how's your day going? Did you find everything you're looking for? Oh, no. And if the person, like at our store, for example, if they come in and, I can kind of tell they don't have that much money and they're holding change in their pocket. There's other people in the store. They don't want to make it look awkward. We don't call them out. We're not going to be like, no, you don't have enough money. Like, sorry, we'll give the person a pre-will, tell them, save your money, go grab yourself a snack after, because we always believe people before pennies, but obviously everybody's not like that. But I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, a lot of people are more likely to come to our store with that behavior because they know that they can ask us for something, or they're going to get the right kind of customer service. Where if they go to a Walmart, you won't get eye contact. You'll get, I don't know what to do. I can't help you. Wait here. I'll get someone.
And you'll wait like an hour.
And nobody shows up.
Yeah.
So I think it comes also down to that experience where our store prides ourselves on customer service being a dying work of art and being the Rembrandt of that, the customer service.
Yeah, but why do you think these big corporations are doing that? Because they want you to go online.
Well, what I learned working through Amazon is they do what's called the olive press squeeze. And I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this on air because it's corporate shit, but I don't care. Fuck Amazon.
Oh shit, girl.
So they do.
We might be bleeping some of that stuff out.
So they do the olive press squeeze with their associates. Okay, whether it's delivery drivers, people in warehouse.
What is that? What is the olive?
So when you take an olive and you start to squeeze it, all the juices, the best parts start squeezing.
Why an olive?
But then when you get to the pit, it's hard. You can't get anything out of it anymore. So what do? You throw it out, grab another olive. Olives are a dime a dozen.
Is that their customer service model?
Like essentially, yes. So they would rather quantity over quality. That is their motto, and they don't like to talk about that. But they literally have like a board with like like a mind map almost showing how it works.
Yeah.
The method works, and it's like the business plan works, and it's like,
you know what it is? It's not even just a quality over quantity. What happens is that we are limited with the options that we have. So I'll give you an example. I contacted my bank yesterday, and to have the initial BC in it, and I was on hold for 2.5 hours. So I call back again, and they give you the option to press 1, and someone will call you back. Don't worry, you're not going to lose your spot, but we're going to call you back. And of course, when they call me back, I was in a meeting, so I couldn't take the call. And I was thinking, this fucking bank, their reported profits last year were skyrocketed, like through the roof. You don't have enough you don't have enough people you can employ. No, you know why they do that? Because you have no other option. There's only 5 major banks in Canada, and those they know that either way, even if they lose you, they're going to gain somebody else automatically. So they just don't give a shit. Most people will buy from Amazon. Even if the customer service has been bad, they're still going to buy again because they know you don't have many options. So when they hire people, they make sure that people have very, very basic training. Just basic, just to hire them. They can pay them fucking minimum wage because of that reason. If they want a better qualified employee, they have to spend more money. And they always justify, or we can't afford it, we have to make employee cuts and all that. I don't know if you guys remember, like if you watch, movies, older movies, or movies that show, it's being based in the 1950s, when cars would pull up at a gas station,
Someone would do it for you.
there'd be like fucking 4 people. One guy cleaning your windshield, another one checking your oil, checking your tire pressure, cleaning your windows for you,
Like a
pumping
pit
your
crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a
I
And they were
remember
like,
when that actually happened.
That's what it was.
awesome.
And today, with the cost of gas, why the fuck aren't we getting that service? You know how few full-serve gas stations there are? When's the last time you pulled up to a gas station and got gas pumped in your car?
Actually, if you go to the reserve, they still have.
There's only one in
Yeah.
Brampton I know
Yeah.
of though.
What do you mean by the reserve?
I seem to notice that only at the reserve, like the native like gas
Indigenous?
stations, indigenous.
So
Sorry,
you know where you're going to see that? You'll see that in places like Rosedale or Forest Hill, okay, where they'll have full-serve gas stations.
There's one in Brampton. It's this cute little mom and pop.
That's the only reason. But
Yeah.
the big chains, if you go like to Yorkville, they have like a full-serve gas station. They'll just pump your gas for you, right? And they do sometimes clean your windshield, whatever. But all of the gas stations now, 99.9 are self-serve because it cuts down the cost. They have one person standing inside and that's it. Whereas before, you got service. So when you pulled in with your fucking car, they check your tire pressure, they added air if it needed. They clean your windshield, they check your oil and told your oil was low as well too, right? And they ask you, anything else, sir? But now they don't give a shit.
Oh.
And just the way that we are as consumers, we've accepted that low quality service and we're okay with it.
It's became the new norm.
Look at if you walk into a big box store like Home Depot or Walmart, good luck. Like Home Depot, when I go there, it's like I have to yell hello and it just echoes.
I know what you're talking
It's
about.
always so empty.
Yeah. And I finally find someone like, oh, don't worry, sir. I'm going to get somebody to come to the wood section for you. Just hold on. And I'll stand there for 45 minutes waiting for someone to fucking show up. And they don't give a shit. They don't care. The big box, that's the U.S. mentality, big, huge store that has way too many products and not enough people to serve you those products. But what do? We still go there because we don't have any other option. But all of the small ma-pa hardware stores have gone belly up.
Yeah, you know what? Right before COVID, I used to work at Source Office Furnishings and Home Hardware. And this is when Home Hardware just got back to Ontario and they had set one up just by downtown Brampton. And it was like so many people came there initially because of the nostalgic mom and pop. It was like the Home Hardware. But then you'd have people coming in, they'd be like, okay, but if I go to Home Depot, it's like half the price. So they were like, honestly, I understand and I want to support you guys, but I also have to support my family and feed them.
That is how they catch you.
Right. And then they were there for all of maybe 3 months. And they were out the door. They couldn't afford the rent there anymore.
Meanwhile, if you were to go to a ma-pa hardware store, not only would you be able to buy the right product, but that person would give you so much advice to go with it. And you could even call them later on if you want to. That's how it was. That's how it was before. You could call Joe because he owned the hardware store. He knew who you were. You're putting a deck together, and you could call him back and say, "Hey, I bought this from you." And he'll say, "Oh, you should do this, this, this. If you have any other questions, call me back." Now, good luck contacting Home Depot. They'll say, "Oh, if you want, sir, we have a service that installs." So you can, you have to pay X amount, but we're not going to give you advice.
The worst is when they say, "Oh, you can just go online."
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I hate
thanks.
that.
Thanks a lot.
You can download an app.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that. So.